Hey everybody, I'm so glad that you were able to make it to my channel and please enjoy it. I wanted to create this channel to pretty much take everyone along the journey with me. Anyone who feels like they need a bit of a great push for whatever it is that they're doing, especially if you are on a journey as I am in regards to national stage as a figure competitor, then take a seat and let's enjoy the ride together. I also wanted to create this page because I remember back when I started as a figure competitor, and that was back in 2013 when I actually made the decision to compete. And I went on YouTube because I had no clue what I was getting myself into. I'm sorry, I have to keep changing it because I feel like the lighting is like going off. But either case, I had no clue what I was getting into, so I got on YouTube, was looking for different channels to see if anyone had recorded their journey. I was looking for pros to see if they recorded their journey. At that time, maybe because of whatever I inserted in the search box, I found nothing. So, because for me, that was, it's something different for someone who has no clue what they're getting into. They just know in their mind, yeah, I want to step on stage and, compete as a figure competitor or bikini or physique, classic physique, whatever it is, bodybuilding. You know, um, Bodybuilding, you can find a lot of stuff though, because clearly it started there, with men's bodybuilding and, then women's bodybuilding. So like, y'all get what I'm saying. We can touch on that later. But either case, so as I looked, I searched and I searched and I could not find. I was a bit disappointed. And then, even with posing, because I had no clue what I was doing. My coach at the time and his girlfriend at the time, they definitely tried to help me best they could because we were in a long distance relationship, basically. And I, you know, learning how to flare your lats is one thing. Like his girlfriend would uh, try to teach me how to flare my lats when I would come and visit my boyfriend at the time, which I'm married to him now. But either case, yeah, learning how to flare your lats as a figure competitor for the first time and you don't know what you're doing could be quite difficult. And yeah, wait till you see some of the pictures from my first posing little sessions that I tried to do, while I was trying to take progress pics for my coach at the moment. So yeah, pretty much I am here. The sun is going down a little bit. It's a little gloomy out here in Bermuda, and it's been pretty cloudy. It's been kind of rainy. But either case, yeah. Either case is my word if y'all just hadn't gotten it by now. So I, after I couldn't find anything, I just, yeah, I still tried to search. I would look online to see, if there were any competitions that were posted. And of course, yes, on YouTube, you can find a lot of professional competitions that were posted, for the IFBB figure woman. And I would just look at how they pose, try to mimic them, and, try to mimic the quarter turns and everything. So this video right here, or these video vlog series that I will be recording, will showcase, in a sense, my ups, my downs, my ins, my outs. Just my happiest moments, my moments where I literally feel like I can't do anymore, or maybe if I can't eat anymore, because sometimes you do have that moment where you're just like, dang, you're kind of sleepy. At least I have. I've felt sleepy, so sleepy before, to where the sight of food just, ugh, I don't want it. You just got to force yourself. Whatever's on my mind in regards to sweets, having to cheat. Uh, and you'll hear about my history. I just want to detail as much as I can, for those who have no clue what it takes to get to a great national stage. I will be competing at the NPC Universe, formerly known as Team Universe. I still call it Team Universe. I like that name. It's like big team of folks. But yeah, NPC Universe, June 30th, 2017, July 1st, 2017. And I'm excited. So everybody just pretty much sit back and enjoy any and all stories that I have to share. I will start with this, basically letting you getting to know a bit about myself. I started, like I said, competing in 2013. Well, not competing, but I started training in 2013. Then I competed in my first show, the Bev. Well, dang, let's take it back. Slow down and take it back. I competed in my first show in 2013, April of 2013. My coach at the time lived here in Bermuda, or was living here in Bermuda, and he said, let's do the show to get your feet wet. So I said, all right, cool. And as nervous as I was, I did that joint and I won. Was the class of four? Was it four of us? 4 or 5? Either case, regardless, everybody could have went up there and just beat me, but I won and I was very thankful. And the other girls were very great. They were very sweet. And that was my first experience on stage with other figure competitors. So then I did my first NPC show in June of 2014. Whew, speak slowly and just think at the same time, just talk. So 2014, and I did the Bev Francis Atlantic States over in New York, which is where I was living at the time, and open figure E class. I was telling them, like, look, should I have done a novice, the novice or whatever, because that was literally really my first official show. And he's like, no, you doing open class. Because I'm thinking, I'm walking around and I'm looking like, man, all these girls, muscles on them and all that stuff. But let me tell y'all, that is nothing to fret about when you are walking about, because people look different when you are side by side. Like, you really do look different when you're side by side. And may the best shape and muscular appearance and tightness, whatever, conditioning and so on and so forth win. So I won that show, but definitely did not get overall, because the girl who did was completely tighter. She had a lot more muscular definition, and she looked great, honestly. She really did. So moving past there, I was asked if I wanted to still train and do the NPC Team Universe. So I was like, man, I don't know about that, because I'm pretty pretty tired here, and I just said, forget it. You know what? Yeah, let's do it, because the whole notion in our heads was, regardless of whatever placing I get, we'd just see what the judges are looking for exactly at that moment. And whatever it is that they have from the feedback of whatever it is I need to do, that's what we were to do. So went up on that stage, and surprisingly for myself, I mean, really surprisingly, because again, that class, that was a big class that year, 20 plus girls or whatever. So I got 5th place. I believe it was 20 plus. Yeah, it had to be. Whatever. That's a lot of girls. So I got fifth place that year, and I was happy, super happy. I was doing my little happy dance, like, what? And yeah. So from there, I was just tired. I wanted to go down to Miami and have a shot down there, but I was hungry. I wanted to eat. I was still new, so I didn't appreciate the sport as much as I definitely do right now. So, yeah, I just chilled out for the remainder of the summer or remaining of the summer. And so the whole thing was, all right, let's get ready and let's go back next year. But on that little path, I was asked if I wanted to do the Arnold's, 2015, early 2015, right? February, March. And I was like, yeah, because I was wondering, how do you get to do the Arnold's as an amateur? Like, do you have to get invited to? But little did I know, with my silly self who did not just decide, I could have just got on the computer and checked everything out and said, hey, I want to do the Arnold's one day. And, you want to try it out? Can we try it out to see how I place out there? And yeah, so did the Arnold's and I placed sixth there. And yeah, that was a great experience, actually. It was an experience to which fueled me a bit more, just because I love that jacket that they give out for that first place. Ooh, that jacket. That's a dope jacket. And I didn't know at the time that you actually get your pro card for winning overall at the Arnold. So, yeah, um, I see why people work so hard, even more hard, if they decide that they're going to do that show. Because, I mean, you're talking about people from all over the world, literally all over the world, coming to that show to compete against one another. It's crazy. But it was ran so beautifully, so smooth. And honestly, nowadays, at that time, I was, yeah, kind of sour in my mind or whatever, for certain reasons, but we'll go into that later. But nowadays, I'm super like excited and grateful, like, wow, because I always go back and I take a look at all of my pictures and I say to myself, you know what? Yeah, I see exactly what the judges were talking about. It's so crazy. People think sometimes that they're getting gypped, which maybe sometimes they are. Who knows? I don't know. But I know in my case that I've taken a look back at my pictures and I say, you know what? The judges were spot on. They weren't wrong whatsoever. So, sixth place, yeah, I was happy. That was an open D class. So, Arnold's 2015. So then, let's get ready. I was supposed to do, what is it? Junior USA's down in the Carolinas. But but I wasn't ready. Like, again, we're talking about your mind has to be so set. Like, you have to be mentally ready. Otherwise, you're just going to mess up your process in some type of way to where you're not going to look ready come showtime. So, and then we didn't necessarily know if I was qualified to do any other show, whatever, or I don't know. So, I decided, no, I didn't want to do Junior USA's because I didn't feel like my body would be ready come that time. So that show that I keep wanting to do, I had to knock it out and just say no. So we just kept prepping for Team Universe. So did that show and Team Universe 2015. And I was happy. I mean, I was happy that I came in more conditioned that year and that there was some changes or whatever. Yeah, more so the conditioning and everything. But yeah, I had a new suit and all, I was happy. But yeah, at that point I said, all right, I'm a little bit more hungry. I want something. I want to see something. I want to fight for a chance, a real chance to receive that pro card because a lot of things that people keep on talking about with me is my shape. oh, you have a beautiful shape. And I would hear from the coaches once I got off stage at Team Universe especially. And honestly, they would tell me I have a beautiful shape, and then they would give me the but this needs to happen, that needs to happen, that needs to happen. And you know, respectfully, whatever was going on at that moment, it just wasn't happening, for me. Like, I will really have to get into that later, on a respectful note, because I'm not here to diss anyone or talk trash about anybody. This is all love here, all love. So, um, yeah, certain things still weren't done, and you know, you just feel like you go on the stage just looking kind of the same, but just a bit differently because you just getting smaller or whatever. So, uh, moving past there, I wanted to do Miami that year, 2015. You know, I took a little bit of time off, at least a good month or so, just to get my mind right, and at that moment, I just, certain things weren't, my program wasn't coming fast enough. And, it was understandable so at that moment. And I tried to be patient. But then a lot of stuff was starting to change. I, um, my husband and I, at that moment, we were speaking of getting married. And so I knew that talk meant a change in location. So I had to start getting all my stuff together. I mean, I had just changed jobs at that moment as well. So I literally had to start packing everything in my room and boxing stuff up and figuring out where this new lease that I just, got was going. Um, how it was going and whatever else. So yeah, it was a lot of stress, a lot of work just to get up out of New York. And then got to Bermuda in October after my husband and I got married, late September. And yeah, I've been here ever since. Yeah, October of 2015. So, wow, time really passes. Like, it just flies really quick. Moving forward, I was like, man, shoot, I wish I would have been able to do Miami, but it's all good. I chilled out, did what I had to do, kept it cool. Come the new year, 2016, everything was just crazy. I had a lot on my mind. I mean, I will talk to y'all about that later. I know you're probably wondering, what is this chick talking about? But we'll talk about it later. I had a lot on my mind, and I had to get it right. I had to get it together. So once a certain situation occurred, I I tried to take matters into my own hands and start my training by myself, start my dieting by myself. I pretty much went about it wrong, because I would say I went about it wrong because I was literally hungry. I didn't do my diet properly. So I was hungry, and so, I got it in my mind I could still have little bits of uh, whatever candies, sweets, all that stuff, pizza, how it is. And along with that, I said, I have time. I have time. At the same time, I reached out to someone who's out here because I just felt like, who do I go to? I didn't know who to talk to. I was looking for a coach, and I knew exactly who I wanted to go to at that moment, but I wasn't sure if she even, you know, accepted clientele. Like, I don't know. And so as I sent in my information for her, I actually went ahead and contacted this gentleman, and I said to him, like, look, I need your help. Like, I just need to get my mind right and everything. Could I train with you all for however long or whatnot, till I get myself together and till I get this call back or email back from my potential coach, basically. So yeah, because my thing was, he's got a huge following out here in Bermuda, and he's really really great. I just, for myself personally, I just didn't want to be a part of anybody's team. It's great, like it's lovely, I'm sure, but it's just, it wasn't for me. And I guess because, well, I don't know. We'll go into that later too. But yeah, so he took me in, and honestly, felt like family because his athlete, she would pick me up and take me with her to train early in the morning. We got what was it? It was like 4 something, 5 in the morning. That girl just be beasting it, just going. We would do our cardio together, and then he would get there, and we'd get the training. So he looked at me, he said, "You got a long way to go. Get your mind right and all this and that." Like, he's super honest. And I was looking at him like, what is he talking about? Because I'm looking at myself in the mirror. I'm like, look, I'm getting tight out here. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't just that. It was everything else that needed to happen, the actual development. And so moving past there, I got the response from my current coach, and I was super stoked. So we began training. I began the program with her in March, and did the show in 2016, clearly. For July of 2016 in PC Universe once more, and I got 5th place again. Now, what happened is what happened, and it is not anybody else's fault but mine. I will definitely let you guys know exactly what I mean by that in the next episode, because I think it's important for any and everyone who's interested in competing to know that you do not blame anybody for anything but yourself. I mean, yeah, other folks have faults too, but you just take it and just keep going, because honestly, that's too much stress. All this is enough. All this competing, getting ready, eating, all that stuff, it's enough. So yeah, I'm back in the game. Husband and I took a trip to Africa, just relax our mind and everything, and had a good time. Definitely got fed very well. Thank you all so much. And we will be back at some point. So once I got back, it's just my mind, everything was just on another level. I am on a whole nother level. I'm on a new level. Yeah, and yeah, I got back in the gym as soon as I got back, and just cleaned up my diet until I heard back from my coach, and we've been moving. So I am in my 5th week of prep. Well, towards the end of my 5th week of prep. That ain't cool. Towards the end of my 5th week of prep, and I am super excited because I'm following all instructions. So she knows my head is on right. I know my head is on right, and I'm just taking it day by day, one day at a time. I'm not thinking about any other days, and just making sure I need to do what I need to do. So one thing I need to implement right now is practicing my posing, because it is crucial. So till next time, hope you all enjoy what I'm about to bring to you. Please subscribe. I can't speak because I'm looking at my food right now. It's time for me to eat. Subscribe to this page, like it, and I'll give you more. I will give you more. So, toodles.